What is up there, everybody? Citrus Aviation here for yet another video, and today we have the model review for the J.C. Wings Air India 777-300ER. This is a gorgeous model. This is an exclusive model sold only through Prairie Diecast and made by J.C. Wings, and so considering how rare this model is going to be, I decided to do a review of it and tell you my thoughts on it, and also give my thoughts on the new J.C. Wings mold. Now, this is not the first model that I've had with the new J.C. Wings mold. My Korean Air 777-300ER also has that new mold with the flaps down configuration, but I didn't realize it was the new mold at the time. So during this review, I'll also make a couple corrections for the Korean Air score, and you'll see that score will actually go up a little bit. So that being said, let's get started with this review. This aircraft is an Air India 777-337ER with the Air India Boeing customer code of 37. It was delivered to Air India in April 2010, which is basically exactly 11 years ago from the time of this video recording and from when it's going up. So this aircraft is one of the about middle-aged 777-300ERs, with production having started in 2004, and production has not ended yet, but is coming towards the end of its production run for the 333. This aircraft serves as the premier flagship aircraft of Air India with a mixed 3-class configuration using economy, comfort, plus, whatever you want to call it, and a business class, as well as a couple of 333s are configured with a first class cabin. 2 of these aircraft have been converted into presidential aircraft, but this is not that aircraft. This is the standard Air India 333. J.C. Wings also has released a 333 and a Thanksgiving livery. It's basically the same model, even with the same box art too, just with the Thanksgiving livery on as well. If you missed the standard livery release, which at this current time is still not yet sold out, you can get the special livery instead. However, I do expect both to sell out fairly quickly, and I know there will be some people that will get both. Air India flies these aircraft from Delhi to many of the most prestigious routes, including to London Heathrow, New York's John F. Kennedy International Airport, San Francisco International Airport, Los Angeles International Airport, Tokyo Narita, I believe Haneda's on the 222LR, I could be wrong on that, but they might also fly to Haneda, Beijing Capital, Hong Kong International Airport, and many other of the most prestigious routes. So with that, let's take a look at this model in detail. The new J.C. Wings mold is particularly really nice. I personally am a big fan of the Phoenix models, 777-300ER, which is really nice, but this new J.C. Wings mold takes the cake as the best 777-300ER mold. It is sculpted very nicely. It really does look like a 333, and even a lot of the very small minute details are really nicely done. For example, take a look here on the APU. The APU housing detail is second to none on any 1/400 scale aircraft. It is really nice. You can actually feel all the little ridges and the indent there by the APU housing, which is really nicely done. So this is an excellent job by J.C. Wings. Definitely something that needs to be noted. Also, the windward area is really well done as well, and you can even feel the NACA dots because there's like a little protrusion in the windward where the NACA dots are, and you can even feel that, which is really cool on this model that actually has that. So really nice job by J.C. Wings. The mold is a 10 out of 10. Same thing with accuracy. This aircraft does appear to be essentially a perfect match of Victor Tango Alpha Lima Sierra, which is the registration of this aircraft. In addition, the paint scheme is also basically a perfect match to the Air India paint scheme, even showing the nice almost like picture frames around the windows, which is really cool. And it has the Air India text both in the Indian language and in English, which is really nice done. There are tons of details throughout the aircraft which are all sewn, and some of them are even raised or protruded or show the little indents, which is really nicely done on this model. So accuracy gets a 10 out of 10, as well as paint. This is really nicely done by J.C. Wings. The packaging is fairly decent on this model. It's nothing special with the typical box with a tray. It does do a good job of protecting the model, and I do like the box art on this model. I will give it an 8 out of 10. It could be better. It could provide more protection for the model, like the foam inserts that you see on 1/200 scale models or on NG models. And the box art, while it's still great, it could be a little bit better. It could have some more spice to it. The landing gear on this model are nicely detailed, and they even pivot in the landing and takeoff configuration, which is super amazing. You don't see that on too many 1 to 400 scale models. This is a feature usually reserved for the 1 to 100 scale individuals, but on this model you do have that feature, which is super awesome to see. The only downside to these gears is that the tiles don't always want to roll super well, but I don't have any tiles not really rolling on my version, so I will give gear a 10 out of 10 in this situation. For aerials, this model has 4 antennas and a SATCOM box. The SATCOM box is near the back of the aircraft with 2 antennas near the back. There is also an antenna up front, up top, as well as an antenna on the bottom near the rear of the aircraft. These aerials and SATCOM boxes are placed in the correct location, and the SATCOM box is also the correct shape. Now the Air India 333s just have one main SATCOM box on them, so that is a good job by JC Wings just to include the one there, because that is accurate for this aircraft. Aerials gets a 10 out of 10. There's basically nothing more they could have done. Features! This aircraft has rolling landing gear and the tilting gear that we mentioned before. The model also has a stand hold, but other than that, it doesn't really have anything more for features. I will give it a 9 out of 10 as it is still good. Nothing special, but it is still a good set of features to have on a model aircraft. Winning engine details. Here we have the mighty GE90 engines, which are sewn very nicely on this aircraft. They are correctly proportioned, and both of the engines on my aircraft are facing straight and forward. There is no drooping, there is no angling up. It's just really nicely done. The fan blade details on the engines are also really nice. If you move to the wing detail, it's excellently molded, just like on the flaps down version of this model, and therefore I will give it a 10 out of 10. Really nice job by JC Wings. Quality on this model is excellent. As you can see, the paint detail is quite nice, and I did not have any broken parts on this model, nothing wrong with it. The only thing I could comment on is that near the tail section there does appear to be a little bit of paint sloppiness. So I will take off 1 point because of that. I did notice there was a couple cracks in the paint on the starboard side of the Apu housing, so I'm going to take off 1 point for that. But overall, it's a very tiny detail. You can only notice it up close, but it is still something I'm going to take a point off for it. And then finally, we move on to the most subjective part of this review, and that is the collectability. Now, this is the Air India 777-300. It's a very desired model. A lot of people want this for a long time, and there have not been very many made at all. So the fact that this model has been made, and it's going to be limited to, I believe it's 480 pieces total, or 450, I don't remember the exact number. But it's going to be a very limited edition model, and in fact the special livery of this model is actually going to be more common. They're actually going to make more of those. So that being said, this is going to be a highly collectible model, and I think within 5 years this will be a model that sells on eBay for around $200. So therefore I will give the collectability a 10 out of 10. Yes, it's a new model right now, but it will be a very expensive model in the not very distant future. So with that being said, this model gets a score rating of 96 out of 100, which is an excellent score to have, and it brings this model all the way up to the third highest rated model I have ever reviewed on the Citrus Caliber rating system. So this is an excellent model. JC Wings did a great job, and if you are looking for a 777-300ER by JC Wings, I highly recommend their 777-300 mold. They make quite a few of these, so if there is a model that you are looking for, just wait and they will eventually release it, or you can take a look on the used market for models that have been made before. Just a cautionary note is that those models are usually very expensive. I also wanted to update the rating for the Korean Air 777-300ER. I had that at a 90 out of 100, but because of the fact that that is actually also new mold, and I give the same mold rating for an aircraft that has the same mold, and it's also a really nice job by JC Wings, I've decided to bump up the score to a 94 out of 100. Here you can see the old scorecard for it, and here is the new updated scorecard for the Korean Air. It is now up to a 94 out of 100, and because it is a really good model, I've decided to put it here at 8th position, which is a really good position for it. Definitely a recommended model by me. So if you're looking for a Korean AR333, that JC Wayne's flaps down version, which is now sold out, is a model I recommend. And then of course, coming in all the way up at third position, the JC Wayne's Air India 777-300ER gets a high recommendation from me. If you are thinking about it, this is one of those models I say you should go for it right away. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I thank you all for watching it. Have a great rest of your day, and God bless you.